As tourists gathered for a show at SeaWorld in Orlando. Then, without warning, something went terribly wrong.
The whales were not cooperating. Just took off really fast, came back around, bobbed up in the water, and then hit somebody in his mouth.
Was one of SeaWorld's most experienced animal trainers. She'd spent more time with the whale that killed her than anyone else.
I still can't believe that a beautiful person like Dawn, who people so admired, who I compare to really like an astronaut or an Olympic athlete. She was the best there was at what she did, and my heart goes out to all of them.
Dawn was and is the most perfect role model. She was kind, beautiful, smart. She loved the animals just as much as she loved her family. Everyone who knew her said she radiated love, that your mood instantly changes when you meet her. Dawn put so much love and effort into her job. She will always inspire me and give me hope. Dawn Brancheau taught me to believe. Rest in peace, Dawnie. Your legacy lives on.
Intelligent, lovable, charitable, amazing, great, and brave. She was inspiring, touching, and remarkable. She was dazzling, perfectly imperfect, beautiful. She was a friend, a sister, a daughter. She was an angel.
Hey, this is Alberto, or A.H. Brando. I never met Dawn Brancheau, but I've heard just how amazing she was. She loved her job so much, and she has inspired a lot of people. May she rest in peace, and may her legacy be honored forever.
It was a hot and rainy summer day in August 2007. I was 16 years old at the time, and I was participating in SeaWorld Orlando's career camp program. This was my second year of doing any of the camp programs at a SeaWorld park. I joined my campmates at Chambers Stadium to watch the Believe show when Dawn did a segment called Something Far Greater with a killer whale named Kayla. I can remember watching Dawn and Kayla swimming side by side as the music played throughout SeaWorld Stadium. Whenever Kayla was ready to do the next act of the show, Dawn would jump into the water with Kayla, and the next act would begin from there. The moment when she both hugged and played with Kayla on the platform, it simply captured my spirits on every level. It just showed you that the bond between trainers and whales is so strong that it's indescribable. This segment was not the first time I saw Dawn perform in my week I was in Orlando. On my first night, she did a segment in the nighttime killer whale show called Shamu Rocks. During that segment, I can remember her interacting with a killer whale named Taima and her young calf Malia in the most unique fashion that it was very hard to explain. During that segment, Taima would allow little Malia to interact with Dawn because she knew that while she could have easily turned on her in order to protect her young daughter, Taima instead allowed Dawn to go near Malia and thus interact with her while her mother watched carefully. Back to that rainy afternoon, after the Believe show ended, I asked my camp counselor if I could speak to a trainer. Indeed, the counselor said yes, so I went down the narrow stairs and there was Dawn standing next to a small platform. When I went up to her, I introduced myself to her before we started speaking to each other about how great life at SeaWorld was, her whales, for like a few minutes before I complimented to her about her performance during the show. After I managed to have someone take a photo of us together before my counselor called me back to join my group before I hugged her goodbye, and it was a very special time indeed. I'll never forget that day. It just shows, how amazing Dawn was as a person.
I'll never forget the day that I first watched Dawn perform. That it was my first ever time in the USA, and it was my first ever time going to SeaWorld. And when I stepped into that stadium and watched a trainer dive off the nose of a killer whale, it was unbelievable. It was a sight that only you could really imagine of. But then after that show I met an incredible woman, and her name was Dawn Brancheau. The one thing that she says to me was, "Kid, you've got to go out there and you need to live your dreams. You need to do well in school, then see where life's path takes you." I'll never forget the day that she said that to me. I'll also never forget the day that I came downstairs to go and get ready for school, and to turn on the TV to surprisingly see a picture of Dawn standing on Kayla's back and have a title underneath it saying SeaWorld trainer killed was really upsetting, because to have met Dawn so many times on those visits to SeaWorld it felt like I had known her in a way. Dawn is an inspiration to a lot of people, especially me. She's taught me that anything is possible as long as you believe, and that, as she told me, you gotta go out there and live your dreams. Dawn, I miss you. I miss not being able to see that beautiful smile of yours, and I just miss the fact that I can't go online and find new videos and new TV programmes from when you've been performing. I'll never forget you, Dawn, and you'll always be in my heart. Rest in peace.